Did you read all the verses here? You must read. Did you chant here? You must chant it here, okay? Every day chant, or in your class, during the bhajan time, 10 verses. Chant it here also. Go on chanting it together. Be nice. Okay. Okay, verse 262, you have seen it, please. Yad vivati sadane kadha brahmat nama rupa guna vikriyatmana hemavat swayam avikriyam sada Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani yachakastyana paramparatparam pratyagekarasamatma lakshanam satyachit sukham anantam abhyayam Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani yachakastyana paramparatparam pratyagekarasamatma lakshanam satyachit sukham anantam abhyayam Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Right. The reason for which these verses are to be again and again chanted and then meaning of it is to be seen is ultimately to create the total self-sufficiency, where you are always aware of yourself without any effort. As I told you in the morning class, the peculiarity here is, instead of actor trying to remember the script, here the actor is so much overwhelmed by the script, by the roles, that he has to remember himself. That is the paradox. Are you getting that? It's so, can't say funny, it's something so peculiar. Just because of our habit, because of our birth, growth, ignorance, and where the social behavior, cultural conditioning, the person is totally lost in the roles that he plays. Not many cultures even talk about the individual separate from the roles. The language that everybody speaks is the language of the body, the language of the thoughts. And in case they talk about the language of the some type of a divinity or spirit or something, is totally away from achieved individual, where the human beings have to surrender to that particular force or energy or XYZ. Not many people talk to you, not many traditions, cultures reveal the truth that you are the absolute, you are the infinity. Without that, how can ever be self-sufficient, full and complete? Simple principle is, you can never be independent by depending on somebody. It's a contradiction in terms. You cannot be independent by depending on something or by depending on somebody. You cannot be free, understand? You can be free to rely on something. You can be free to and choose to depend on something. But by depending on something, you can't be free. You be yourself. Then what form of worship, what form of divinity, what form of practice, you choose for yourself. But you cannot say, but this is the God, or this is the form, or this is the practice, secular or religious, shall make you free. So not many people grasp these ideas. Understand? As a result, the conditioning is so very strong. And the teaching helps you to understand yourself. It is not that it is creating a new dimension in you. No. It is already existing in me, but I am not recognizing it. So this is where comes the peculiarity of this teaching. Instead of, just see how the roles seem to have completely overtaken the actor. And therefore now the actor is looking for himself. It is just like a sad case where playing the role, the actor loses himself. And then goes insane. Then you have to take him to the hospital to bring him to senses. So here, with the birth, growth, all the different types of perceptions and thoughts, we are completely losing ourselves. Never ever we know that I am different from these things. And the taste of it, please understand, the taste of this difference is clearly seen in yourself. That is why contemplation, meditation. That you are different from this body, that you are different from this thought. Sakshi, witness. It's not a philosophical speculation. You must see that it really happens in your life. Can you stand by your thoughts? Can it so happen that you are aware of your thoughts but they don't affect you? You must see it. Are you getting that? Because this is where comes the taste of this wisdom. Simply not repeating certain statements. Very clearly see that how the physical body has its own limitation. The hunger comes to the physical body, but I am not hungry. The body is aging, I am not aging. I am conscious of the body aging. I am conscious of the thoughts appearing. So very clearly you see that distance and see yourself who you are. And in order to do it again and again, now these so many verses are told. Very clearly he has given you Panchakosha Viveka, how the five kosas are there, Sariratra Viveka, how all the three bodies are different from the gross body, subtle body, causal body, Avasthatraya Viveka, different types of discrimination, that waking, dream, deep sleep. Very clearly you can see you are the one who is witness of all the three bodies, three avasthas, the waking, dream, deep sleep, and of course the Panchakosha, and that is your nature. So again and again you see this truth so that it becomes very effortless. That is, so gives another dimension, another example. Yat chakasti, that which shines by its own glory. Yat chakasti. That itself should show you the effortlessness of the wisdom. Because the other sources of illumination depends on different things. Like the sun is lighting, but that the sun is lighting up, it depends on our eyes. In a sense, your eyes do not create the sunlight, but that there is a sunlight, to see that you must have the eyes. If you don't have the eyes, there is no question of. If you close your eyes itself, it is dark. As a blind man cannot even accept that there is so much of light outside. That the eyes can see is dependent upon your mind, your thoughts. If your thoughts are somewhere, the eyes will be opening but not seeing anything. That your thoughts are happening, you must be conscious. Whereas that you should be conscious is independent of any other idea, any other thought. All the time it is existing. Because of your presence, who you are, the thoughts appear in you. Can you just see that? When the thoughts are happening, you are aware. When thoughts are not there, are you still aware? Because by habit we think, it's like, suppose I say, please listen. See that statement, huh? See that statement. Suppose I say, please listen. There's total silence. Immediately many people ask the question, what is there to listen? Means listening means also listening to sound. That you can listen to silence also. Not many people are getting this is habit. Listen. Listen what? Take him to an empty space. See this. Look. Look what? Now suppose I ask you, just please look up and see what is there. Straight away we shall see what? Stars. Between you and billions of miles away, there is so much of intervening space, so many trees, mountains, maybe at a distance. But still straight away your eye goes to star. A form. It hits a form. As though seeing means must see a form. Are you getting that? That is why people cannot accept it. Do you see yourself? A lot of thoughts are there. When there is no thought, what is there? It's not, don't say what is, just to be conscious of the thought is to use the thought. To be conscious, you don't need a thought. Are you getting that? To be conscious of a thought, you need a thought. To be conscious, what thought you need? Appreciate. So yachakasti, that which shines by itself. Anaparam, yasmat param kinchit nasti. There is nothing other than it. That is your self-consciousness. Parat param, and it is beyond everything that you consider as para apara. Limited, limitless. Subjective, objective. Limited, limitless. Parichinna, that which is limited by time, place, subjectivity, and no time, no limitation of time, place, subjectivity. Nothing can describe it. That is something. Pratyageka atma lakshanam. Pratyak atma ekarasha lakshanam. Pratyag atma is the truth of everybody. Not only myself, not only it is true for myself, at all times, all places, all conditions, in my childhood, youth, old age, in my waking dream, deep sleep state, in a healthy condition, unhealthy condition, living, dying, in all the states existing, but also for everybody. Not only for me, but also for everybody. That which is ekarasam atmalakshanam. And what else it is? Satya, Chit, Sukham, Anantam, Abhyayam. It is Satyam. Same thing, same word you have seen. Satyam, Trikala Tishtati, existing in past, present, future, waking dream, deep sleep. And here says Chit. It is Chit Swarupa, pure conscious. So, one language is Satchidananda, another is Satya, Chit, Sukham. So, what is the explanation now? Same explanation. Are you getting that point? Only different names are given out. Just different names are given out. Now that, what is Satya, what is Sat, what is Chit, what is consciousness, Sukham, Anandam, all are same. Words are there. Sat, Chit, Ananda. It is Satyam, it is Chit, it is Sukham, Anantam, endless. Never comes to an end. That is the beauty of this knowledge. That it never ends. This happiness is never ending. Bliss is never ending. Listen, bliss, if you can say yourself, bliss, ananda, swarupa, sukha, swarupa, that is endless. Comfort and discomfort are with beginning and end. Are you getting that? Sensations are beginning, sensations have an end. That is why, very beautiful in Bhagavad Gita, it will come. When you see that there, that which is, Ehi sasparshaja bhoga dukha yona yevate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, Ehi Sansparsaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evat. E bhoga sansparsaja. Hey Arjuna, those sensations which are born of the sansparsha. Sansparsha means sense organ coming in touch with the sense object. Your eyes see a form, that is sansparsha. Your ears hearing a sound coming together. The tongue tasting the food coming together. When these things are there, by chance there is a sensation is born and gives you pleasure, those bhogas, those sensations, dukkha yoni. Yoni, womb. Dukkha, sorrow. These are womb of sorrow, not womb of pleasure. Why? Adyantavanta kaunteya. When the sense organ comes in touch with sense object, the pleasure begins. How long shall it last? When the dissociation takes place. That is why you are listening to music. Everybody is enjoying. Somebody switches off, the whole world will get angry. Everybody watching a match, electricity goes away. Electricity department, how much cost he gets that time? Are you getting that point? Please. You are eating food, somebody takes it away from your hand. How people get angry? You get, you feel that there is something is either time snatches it, people snatches it. Even if people snatches it, if people snatch it, you call them as rogues. You have the money, somebody steals it. Are you getting that point? Please understand that. It's not necessary that a thief always takes your pleasure away. Time also is a great thief. Time snatches it. As long as your youth is excellent, youth is gone. Who took away your youth? Time snatched your youth. Misery begins. Think. The child is playing with the toys. Another person take the toy out. The chicken is playing with his babies. The hawk comes and snatches too. The chicken cries and goes around. Have you seen that? The deer is going with the baby. The wolf comes and takes the baby. The deer looks at a distance. What can he do? Please, when you say sense organ, sense pleasure, just don't think of your eyes and your sight. You got a job. You are coming in touch with your job, you are feeling very secure. Your job is gone. You are very happy that your reservation is made for the flight. When you reach there, your reservation is cancelled. You see, reservation is cancelled. Ticket not available. Are you getting that point, please? All these. That's why don't just take it in some sort of religious language. So, only when the money is gone, wealth is gone. That also is a part of it. Anything. Yahi sansparsaja bhoga. Anytime, whenever, two things coming together brings you happiness, understand that is womb of sorrow. That is why brahmachari. Brahmachari means what? Brahmachari does not mean unmarried. Brahmachari means maithuna varjana. Because the word maithuna means, physical relationship, so people think brahmachari means maithuna. No, maithuna means duality. Anytime when you say mithuna, you understand, you see that zodiac sign, Mesha, Vrusha, Mithuna. When you say Mithuna, there are two things, man and woman right there, no? So Maithuna means also a physical intimacy, but Maithuna also means duality. So anytime, if your pleasure begins because of your association with something else, that particular type of pleasure is not a pleasure, it is only womb of sorrow. Because when two things separate, you shall be inevitably miserable. Got the job, job is gone. Got the food, food is taken away. Somebody comes to visit me to whom I like, they have to go back. Every situation in life. I love mornings. How long the mornings will last? I love this midnight. How long the midnight will last? Are you getting that point? What it means is, if Your happiness, comfort depends upon the second thing, you shall be miserable. So, yehi ye bhogaha sansparsajaha. So, those pleasures which are born because of the coming in contact with the second object, that is not sukhayoni, that is not womb of happiness, that is dukhayoni, womb of sorrow. Why? In it is inherent its own loss. That it was not there, it will not be there. So, you not think for yourself when you get angry. Now, having seen it, you immediately experiment with your life. Understand? You now immediately experiment with your life. When does your anger come? Think. When does your anger come? Somebody snatched something away. Somebody gives you a sweet, other fellow takes it away. Or you had already dreamt of it will be yours. So mentally you are associated. Physically somebody denied. It's like your hope being shattered. What is your hope being shattered? Mentally united, physically separated. You understand that point? Mentally you are already owning the house. Physically somebody doesn't give you the possession. Mentally you are owning an object. Other person doesn't give you, somebody takes it away. That is where you get so angry, upset. All these things will happen. Can you be somebody eternally happy with yourself? But you can say, I am very happy with myself, inconvenienced because of this. Very happy with myself, but convenience. This is comfortable because of this. Then you become a very, very stable person, sthita prajna. You are a sthita prajna. Sthita prajna because your inner bliss, happiness, nobody ever touches. Outside conditions will always change. Please. So, anandam abhyayam, it is endless. So, this is endless, imperishable reality. Tad brahma tvamasiti atmani bhavaya. That yourself, please think over it again and again. Why should I do it? Read it. Uktamarthamimam atmani swayam bhavayet prathita yukti vidhiya sansayadirahitam karambuvat tena tattva nigamo bhavishyati. Uktamarthamimam atmani swayam bhavayet prathita yukti virdhiya sansayadirahitam karambuvat tena tattva nigamo bhavishyati. Why should I do this? If you do this, ukta artham imam atmani swayam bhavayet. Atmani swayam bhavayet. In yourself, by yourself, imam ukta artham bhavayet. May you go on thinking about the meaning of ukta artham. You see that? Ukta artham bhavayet, not shabdam bhavayet. Artham. Use the word, see the meaning. Are you getting that? Use the word and see the meaning. Why shall I use the word? That is because there are so many other words inside your head which reminds you everything except yourself. Are you getting that practical hint? What more can I tell you? Because there are already so many words in your head which reminds you of everything except yourself. Not only they don't remind you of yourself, but also help you to lose yourself in those words. Oh, this chocolate is so nice. This thought when comes, are you happy with yourself? Huh? Suppose a simple thought. A thought comes, oh, chocolate is so nice. Once they come, you are sitting in the room and they come, chocolate is so nice. So will you stay at home or will you go to a shop for a chocolate? Are you getting? Please see that. I mean, you can't make it easier. That is why when you sit down alone, deciding not to eat, not to talk, you can see so many ghosts inside you. As though these ghosts of your thought pushing you all the time outside. Go for food, go for a walk, watch this, why sitting? Who is pushing you? That is why they say in this tradition, 3 people keep awake in the night. Yogi, Bhogi, Rogi. 3 fellows keep awake in the night. Rogi, diseased person, keeps awake in the night because he can't fall asleep, sleepless. Therefore, he keeps awake in the night. Bhogi, one who is enjoying the pleasures of the world, late night show. Night is always young, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock also night is young. So party hopping, bar jumping, bar hopping, all these type of people, they think, oh, they are the ultimate pleasure hunters of the world. They don't think before them also, so there are some group of idiots that have done the same thing. Where are they now? Nobody knows. But oh, I am a young man, I am doing all these things. Slowly, I tell you, the world is going into, God knows where it is going into now. Today, newspaper is reading, they are planning to build a robot which will have feelings of every kind. It will talk to you, if you get angry, it will also respond. Everything. So just like you can have a, like a barking dog or, like a dog's child, like an animal's, like a pet, you can have a pet. The difference is, looking at the modern man as it is, he can also be a physical toy. A man can use that toy as a woman can use that toy as a man. Just think of that condition. What will happen? The whole world will fall apart. Today's newspaper is surprisingly full of reports, you cannot believe it. It's all over. Now the California got the confirmation for the same-sex marriage. So California means floodgate opens. In London, 2 priests, Christian priests, gay priests, they got married in London. It has opened up in many countries now. Just imagine. What will happen to the human world? The more you are educated, the more you are in the, in the case of relationship. Now what happens? You love a robot. You don't need a man anymore. You don't need a woman. You purchase your personal robot. And he's programmed. He's programmed. He'll tell you, I love you. They have written that. The robot also will tell you, I love you. And some people will like it. Why? If it is another living person, it's so much of a headache. So much of a headache. At least that man is, that robot is that man or robotic man or robotic woman, at least talking something without creating any problem. And any time, as usual, if you feel uncomfortable, switch it off and keep the fellow. Bas. Suppose you say something, he doesn't like it. He has got emotion. He gets very angry, switch it off and keep it in. Bas. No problem. Or deprogram that anger side of it. So it's excellent, nice slave. And the body will be made exactly like the body of a human being. You can touch it, you can feel it, he can feel it. Because materials are nowadays such are available, it will be smoother than maybe human skin. You don't have to, you don't have to worry about anything. Now imagine. I'm not telling, these are the things to come. These are the things yet to come. And it will come, inevitably it will come up in the world. You cannot escape these things. Bhogi. Bhoga. That also keeps awake in the night. And the last one is called as the yogi. Yogi also, suppose by chance there is a time when you are not feeling, there is a time when you don't feel sleepy. You, instead of worried over your lack of sleep, think. There is nothing at this moment to bother me. Whosoever I consider responsible for my unhappiness are far away. Why am I still miserable? Who drives you crazy? Your thoughts. Are you getting that? To see, to recognize that is a huge step in the understanding of yourself. That nobody else affecting me. The moment I sit down, these ghosts of the thoughts rise, memories come up. So you are just not be familiar with the Shabda. Because when the thought comes, what it reminds you? Outside. The range of thoughts that we have picked up, every thought reminds us of the outside. That is why people find it difficult, because how many words you have picked up which reminds you of yourself? Nothing. First I don't know myself. Please understand. First I don't know myself. Therefore there is no question of anything reminding me of me. Achha. When I start picking up those words for myself, how many such words are there? 5, 10 words or 100 words or 200 words? In last 3 months, 4 months, 3 years, 2 years, I picked it up. How many words you have picked up about other things? Sound, taste, touch, taste, smell? Millions. It has become like effortless to you from childhood until now. So where is the chance? It looks like Upanishads have no chance against the all other studies. Because I have studied language, physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, geography, and then sensation of every kind, which they don't teach me in the school, but I pick it on the school of the universe. Sensation of sound, sensation of touch, sensation of taste and sight and see, all these things. So suddenly, when you start listening to these things, you know there is a sense, it makes a sense, but still it is not very effortless. That is why consciously ukta artham atmani bhavaya. Consciously pick up these words, take these verses. Are you doing it? Again and again I am asking when I say that, again and again, because please understand, I have gone through these studies, I have seen myself, I have seen my friends. I have seen how many people come to this knowledge and how many people really use it and how many people do not use it. How many people use? Very rare. How many people misuse or do not use is more number of people. Somebody picks up it to impress somebody else. You pick up all the information because these are all very powerful information. You can knock the head of the people because the thinking other people have got is so wrong, you can knock them out with one idea. So your pleasure is in knocking people out. Then you live like as you live like. What is wrong in that? Then you become a pervert, justifying your weaknesses as wisdom. But to recognize that, to be myself and use it for myself so that I am absolutely strong with myself. No thoughts can disturb me. That is why you become such a beautiful person. When you, listen carefully, when your thoughts do not disturb you, no force in the world can disturb you. Do you understand? When your thoughts do not disturb you, nobody or nothing in this world can disturb you. Do you know why? Because somebody to disturb you must transplant a thought in your head. Must plant a thought in your head. You must plant a thought in your head. Until he plants a thought, are you going to react? No. Once he plants a thought, suppose you don't react, you know who you are. Who can affect you? But suppose you have got your weaknesses. There are certain things which you don't like. And what all you don't like, somebody tells you. Why the people of belief, listen carefully, why people of belief gets disturbed? Because they have got unverified thoughts. They believe in a thought. So that thought is inside their head. Another person says that thought is useless. Now the argument ensues. How can you say that is wrong? Okay, how can you say that is right? Let's argue. How can you say that is wrong? Okay, tell me how is it right? The person has never thought, no, I don't want to enter into argument. I am not asking you to enter into argument. Tell me, you say it is right. Tell me how it is right. That includes everybody. Because people who don't believe, for them that is also, disbelief also is a thought. How did you reach this? How did you reach this conclusion that there is no God? How did you reach this conclusion there is no self? How did you reach the conclusion that when you talk about God, we are not talking about yourself? How did you reach these conclusions? You understand? It just goes from generation to generations. The persecution of the thought. There is a fanatics are born. So when somebody plants a thought, then only there is a possibility you are being disturbed. And if you have such thought, which unverified you are clinging onto, whenever you feel challenged, whenever somebody challenges you or challenges your thought, you feel affected. That is why you contemplate and see for yourself. No thought, no emotions ever touch you. Then nobody in the world can touch you. Nobody. Understand? Again and again, your reactions you must understand. What I told you so many times, remember, is like a mantra. It's not why the other person said so. Why am I reacting like this? Why am I reacting like this? The person who said might have gone already. But he has transplanted, he has planted a thought in my head and I am suffering that for the rest of my life. It's a very funny story. One day, there was a man, he was a thief. He was a thief. And then, he was a very powerful thief, very fellow who never is defeated. In a sense, always he steals something and goes away. The military chief was appointed by the king to nab him. They are the military, along with the 10 people, they had gone to nab this thief. Now this thief was so smart, he along with these few of his friends, nabbed the chief and these soldiers. And then what he did, he put the chief on the, completely tied him down, or tied down everybody and disrobed the chief. Totally made him naked, all the clothes thrown away. Then brought a donkey and put him sit down there. And this thief told him, I'll tell you something. You wanted to catch me. I'll tell you something which you shall never forget in your life. Then this chief got so wild, he said, look, you can do anything you want, but you can never make me to think something which you shall never forget in my life. He said, wait until I tell you what I am going to tell you. Then he tied down all the soldiers, them and 10 donkeys, and while hitting the donkey, the last donkey was for this chief, and he said, do you know what shall I tell you? You will never forget in your life. He said, what is that? You will never forget that until I am not going to rest contented in my life until I catch this thief. Right or wrong? True. Because he will be so angry. He'll be so angry that this thief has treated him like so disrespectfully. Say, I will not rest contented until I catch this thief. Forget it. And knocked it out. You understand? Somebody can put a thought like that in your head. But your question is, how do I react to it? It's very, very, very subtle and very deep thinking Because unconsciously we go on reacting inside. That is why you feel miserable. All your little storm you create. Understand? Other people, they throw a word and go away. You take that word and create a little poetry, drama, novel inside your head. Other people just create a little arrogate in that. They just give a little suggestion and go away. Hey, you rogue. And he's gone. But you pick up that word and you are building up the whole thing around it. Appreciate. So, if you are contemplating so efficiently on a useless statement, don't you think you should take these verses and contemplate little more efficiently? If you contemplate on these verses, it will free you from everything. But the surprising thing for everybody is, if somebody gives a humiliating statement, you go on contemplating upon it, unconsciously dwelling upon it, consciously going through suffering from it. But when somebody says you are Brahman, you are absolute, you don't worry about it. This is known as habit. Swamiji, I don't know, I feel very angry. This fellow told me like that. What did he tell you? He told me I am talking to everybody or I am talking nonsense. How can he tell like that to me? Okay, I have been telling you. Jati niti kula gotra duragam nama rupa guna dosa varjitam desha kala visayati vartiyat brahma tattvamasi bhavaya. Whom are you listening? You came here to the ashram and to teaching place to listen to me or to some stranger who is coming also from another place to give you upadesh. Whose upadesh you came to hear? Whose instruction you came to learn here? From the teacher or the commentaries of the strangers? Ganga Yamuna flowing. Are you getting that point, please? Why? Why somebody is reacting? You understand? This is known as the habit. By habit, people will not contemplate upon the ideas which are great, but some nonsense. Anyway, Shuktamartham bhavayet, may you, all these verses that we told, pick it up and have, because these words will remind you of yourself. When you say, Satya Chit Sukham Anantam Abhyayam, Satya Chit Sukham Anantam Abhyayam, these words do not remind you of anything outside. The meaning of it is yourself. Aham Abhyayam, Aham Sat, Aham Chit, Aham Sukham, Sukhaswarupoham, Chitswarupoham. You think about it. Bhavayet prathita yukti bhi dhiya. Prathita yukti bhi, Upanishad bhi, prathita yukti bhi. Why the Upanishad, Shastras? Shastra Sammata Yukti, logic that is given out in the scripture by the teacher. Use that logic and see it in yourself. What will happen? Sansayadi rahitam karambuvat tena. This tattva nigama bhavishyati. This recognition of the truth shall be as clear as the karambuvat. As if you hold water on your palm, can you ever miss it? That clearly you shall see yourself. Why should I do this? Because, please understand, traditionally there are two types of difficulties come. They call it asambhavana, viparita bhavana. These are the two difficulties in the path of understanding. Asambhavana, viparita bhavana. Asambhavana means not being able to believe that I am the immortal, I am the absolute. That is one thing, very difficult. Because mortality is so direct. Pain, limitation is so immediate. Nobody can believe about the possibility of immortality and absolute and all that. Asambhavana. And also, not only that is that the average person doesn't know about that, but also There are so many people have given you viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana is opposite thought. Not only they don't tell me I am infinity, they don't tell me I am immortal. If they don't tell me, it's okay. But they positively tell me I am mortal, I am limited, I am miserable. And for that there is a philosophy also. There is a religion also. There is a whole structure of belief system around it. That you are limited and you shall never be happy here. Only if there is a God somewhere sitting down, only if He wants it, He will make you happy or He will make you blessed, or else by yourself you cannot make it. If these type of ideas you give into children's head, try to take it out later on. Just try. Impossible. It's just like mummy's food, you know. What you have eaten from your childhood, the childhood sights and sounds remain with you for the longest time. That is where you are born. That village, that place has a very strong attraction, wherever your childhood is. If you have stayed there a sufficient long time, and please. These thoughts are so strong. Asambhavana, viparita bhavana. Asambhavana means not being able to think that I am that. This asambhavana, that is impossibility of me being that, goes away by sravana, by listening. When the Shastra says, Tattvamasi, you are immortal, absolute, other than the gross body, subtle body, causal body, this asambhavana goes away by that logic. Acha. Viparita bhavana means the opposite thought. The opposite thought goes away by manana nitidhyasana. So three things you know, sravana, manana, nitidhyasana. Listening, manana, contemplating, nitidhyasana, meditating. When you do these three things, sravana, manana, nitidhyasana, three things you are doing. Now this sravana, the listening, counteracts this impossibility. That is why to get a chance even to listen to the Shastra itself is a great punya. Is a great merit. Just to come across somebody telling me that there is such a possibility. How many people get the chance to listen to that possibility? Tell me. How many people get the chance to listen to this possibility that infinity absolute? I am limited, and the whole attempt on the part of every world, all over the world, most culture is, or even the secular study is, managing your limitation, not making you limitless. Manage your limitation. They don't believe or they don't accept, they can't believe that you are limitless, immortal, absolute. That is why the whole attempt is managing your limitation. Believe in a God, manage it. Or don't believe in a God and manage it, believing in money. Are you getting that point, please? So, Sravana, to listen to that is a big thing. And then having listened to it, Manana Nitidhyasana. You must do the Manana, contemplation, and contemplation without words, Dhyanam, being with yourself. That takes away your Viparita Bhavana. Viparita Bhavana means opposite ideas. That I am the body, I am the mind. And these ideas are very, very strong in people, because for years together, not only you have lived it, but also you see million people living it. Everybody is worried about money, everybody is worried about job, everybody is worried about pleasures, everybody is selfish, everybody is angry, hateful, jealous. This is the normal behavior. If by chance somebody you say kind, immediately we make them as gods. The moment you see somebody kind, somebody nice, we don't consider it natural. It is all supernatural, extraordinary. Therefore, ordinary fellows, even though they don't want to be God, the people will make them God. Understand? I hope the days are not far away where a person should learn to be kind, to be nice. It's so human, so simple, so ordinary. It is not superhuman. To be kind, to be nice, you should be that for your own sake, not for somebody's sake. Because everybody wants to be for somebody's sake, that is why pretentious behavior comes. What is pretentious behavior? You pretend to be nice when you are not. You pretend to be holy when you are not. You pretend to be kind when you are not. Why? The whole attempt is to impress other people. It's a waste of time. You think for yourself. So when you go on doing that, by contemplation, you take away the viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana, that no more you take yourself to the body, but you know who you are. Of course, you continue to use the body, mind, sense organs, everything. And thereby, this knowledge, tena tattva nigama bhavishyati, karambuvat, like you have put your water in your hand as conspicuous, that conspicuous you shall see the truth in yourself. Therefore, may you contemplate on these verses all times, all places, all conditions, so that you can be with yourself. And being with yourself is not an effort, it should be an effortless affair. You are with yourself. And with being with yourself, when you start living your life, your meditation continues. That is why you ask yourself a question. Am I being conscious all the time? Why am I reacting? Why this pain comes? Why this misery comes? Immediately, your answer will come from you. Nobody else need to tell it to you. Your answer comes. You will know your answers. Where something has gone wrong. You don't need a teacher anymore. Because here the teacher reveals it so clearly. The scripture reveals it so clearly. You can very, very clearly appreciate your guna, your dosha, your glory, your weaknesses, your strength, your flaws, your weaknesses. You can see it for yourself very clearly. And you know how to manage it. Okay? Having told this, then he says, Sambodhamatram parishuddhatattvam Vijñāya sanghe nrupavacca sainye Tadāsrayasvātmani sarvadāstitah Vilāpayas brahmani vishvajatam Sambodhamatram parishuddhatattvam Vijñāya sanghe nrupavacca sainye Tadāsrayasvātmani sarvadāstitah Vilāpaya brahmani vishvajatam. Right, it's so beautiful example. He says, when you thus contemplate, this will happen to you. Sambodhamatram parishuddhatattvam vijñāya nrupavacca sanghe. Vijñāya, having known thus yourself, which is sambodhamatra, bodhamatra, chainmatra, chit swarupoham, sambodhamatra, bodhaswarupa, chit swarupa, consciousness. Jnana swarupa, in whose presence everything is known. And that is, you understand it clearly without any doubt and error. Parishuddha tattvam. Tattvam parishuddha. Very, very clear. Without any doubt, without any doubt, without any error. You very clearly see how as clearly Nrupavacca Sainya Sanghe, like a king standing out in the army of soldiers. how the king stands out in the vast army, because his mighty chariot, his flag, his horses, his golden crown, everything stands out. So in that whole assembly of soldiers, the king stands out. In the whole assembly of thoughts, you, consciousness, stand out. Can you miss the space in the forest? But you all miss in the forest. All miss. Suppose I ask you, just because I am asking you now with this background, if I ask you, first thing you will say space. But suppose, what are you seeing here? Oh, Swamiji, ashram is full of such wonderful trees. What about space? What shall you say? Nobody shall describe the space in ashram. Everybody shall describe such beautiful trees everywhere, such peacocks, lovely birds, nice mangoes. You describe every object in the space, but you never talk about the space. As even outside, so also inside. What is affecting you? So many thoughts. What about consciousness? Huh? That's right. Can there be a sound without silence? If I ask you, what are you listening to? Swamiji, you speak so nicely. You are listening to my speech? What about silence in between? See that pause? Without gap between the words, can you create a sentence? If everything is together, what type of words, what type of sentences it will be? So the gap also is part of the write-up, because you must know where to create write-up. Music, what is music? Managing silence. What is music? It is silence between the sounds. That very effective stillness. Very eloquent stillness. When one, like a drum, boom, other has not started. So fantastic. Suppose boom, 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 continuous boom, boom, boom. Now will you enjoy the drum? Continuous. Boom, 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 boom. It comes and gives one boom. What is so? What are you enjoying? The silence. But the same silence you did not enjoy without the boom. So both. So you, when you go on thinking like that, you see that very clearly. Nrupavaccha sanye. Vijnaya sanghe, Nrupavaccha sanghe. In the assembly of soldiers, you see the mighty presence of the king. Tadasrayaswatmani sarvadasthite vilapaya brahmani vishwajatam. So brahmani vishwajatam vilapaya. So like that you, looking at these, you cannot miss the king in the soldiers, among the soldiers. You cannot miss the Brahman in the whole creation. In and through all the names and forms, it is existing. This is the asraya. It is the shelter for everything in this creation, in this universe. Thus, be that absolute substratum for everything in the universe. Your body shall change, world shall change, thoughts shall change, but you remain the changeless at all times, all places, all conditions. We shall see more of it. With that, we shall see more of it tomorrow onwards. And this will be very important ideas coming. Why is it people find it difficult to own it up? Even after such clarity, why some people find it difficult? Why some people find it easy? We shall see tomorrow. Okay? Close your eyes.